Hey everyone, it is Tanya. Welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you are new here. Today I'm back with another speed build, and we're actually building some townhouses today. These are going to be tiny townhouses in the world of Mount Komorebi. They are Japanese inspired, but not necessarily like purely Japanese tiny houses. I just wanted to build something in this world and something on the smaller side, as I've just been itching to build some tinier things now that we have these residential rentals. So that is exactly what we are doing here today. These each have 2 bedrooms and 1 bathroom. 2 of them are staged as bedrooms and the other one is not. It's as an office space sort of. But you'll see that as we get into these apartments, into these townhouses. I'm so excited to be sharing these with you. I really hope you will like them. If you do and you'd like to download them, they will be available on the Sims 4 gallery. You can find them under my EA ID, which is Gryphi, Gryphi. You could also find it under the hashtag Gryphi, and that information will also be in the description down below as well. So I've been building these for the last couple of days now, and I am just so incredibly proud of them. I just love how these came out. Each one is a little bit different on the inside. They basically have the same layout, but the furniture is laid out slightly differently depending on the room. I'm pretty sure the living rooms have everything placed in the same spots though, because there isn't really another way to do it because of how small the interior space is. But I was inspired by the swatches that came with Snowy Escape. I used some of these awnings also from that pack, and I believe the one on the end, the green one, is from our newest For Rent expansion pack. As I thought it was similar in style and it gave us some additional swatches. So playing around now with putting down some of these new planters that are from For Rent with Debug, but using all of the plants from Snowy Escape so that everything blends really well into the world of Mount Komorebi. I was really excited to build here. I think it's such a beautiful world, and it's just not one I build in that often just because it's not a style I'm very familiar with. I do like it, and it's one that I know some about, but it's just not like the thing that comes to me the easiest, if that makes sense. But I think it is so incredibly stunning. So I had a blast with this one. Also, that new plastic chair that we got with Get to Rent For Rent, I placed outside one of the units. I just thought that was a nice addition. It's such a realistic plastic chair that I'm happy to have in the game. And this is where we are figuring out the floor plan and realizing I need to extend the upper units to make them a little bit bigger. So that way I could fit in 2 bedrooms and a very small bathroom. The bathroom in each of these units is only 3 tiles wide, so it's not the biggest, but it does have a shower, a sink, and a toilet. So you do have everything that you will need for your unit to function. I'm actually just pulling up here the prices of these units. I believe each one, the furnishings are around 30K. I did section them off at the end into residential rentals, but I built it on its own as just a regular rental because it's very laggy to build residential rentals. So I just switched it at the end. But this is placed on 6-4 Hanamigawa. In Mount Komorebi. It's a 20 by 15 lot, total 6 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms, and the lot value is 102,397 simoleons if you wanted to buy it for yourself instead of just renting out one of the units. But I think this would be a good rental property to have. You can go ahead and live in one of these and rent out the other 2, or you could just live here. You don't have to run this space. I think it's cool that we got both of those options with the For Rent expansion pack. I know when it came to for example, the pack Dine Out, I was happy that you could visit restaurants and it was cool to own restaurants, but I wanted the other jobs. Like I wanted to be a waiter at the restaurant and things like that. And we never had that. So it was just nice that we could live in these as well as run them. So just a happy thing that I like about this pack. Also the shelf. I'm just obsessed with that shelf. It's going to be in most builds from now on and I can't help it. But anyway, this first unit here, I was thinking was for a single sim or a couple who shares this unit. It's got a lot of dark colors. It's really cozy. It feels kind of modern. And I was quite happy with that. And then the middle unit is more light colors and lots of bright colors. And it's for a family that has 2 kids. That's why I put the hopscotch outside. And then the last unit is like a staged house. Like they're trying to rent that one. So it has very basic furnishings, not too much of it, and gives you an idea of how you could lay out the space. And I was thinking that would be the one that would be good for you to play in if you decide to download this, because it has very minimal decorations if you want to quickly change that up and make it for whatever Sims you had in mind. I think that one would work quite well without having to make too many changes. But if you'd like one of the other two, they are fully furnished for a variety of different Sims. So they're completely done. But I figured it would be more fun to actually furnish all of these, as I have done some townhouses and apartments recently where I left some of them unfurnished, a bunch of them. And so this one kind of has that idea with the staged apartment, but it still has all of the furnishings. Like it's not like it's empty. So, but these first two I did go all out on and decorate for like a specific style. And this first unit just is so cozy. I love the rich greens and browns in here. I think that's a color scheme I don't use as often, at least not in that rich of a green that the chair has. I think it is so pretty. Also, the chair that I have at the computer desk is so nice. And then this is the first bathroom we're getting to see. I'm pretty sure I kept them all in because they're really short. But I have the same plumbing in all of them, the same mirrors. I just have a couple of different decorations depending on which unit we are in. But it works really well. I was quite pleased with this. And it's also why I decided not to have any like young kids. I was thinking children was the age of the kids in the middle apartment. I didn't want to have toddlers or babies or dogs or anything like that because there is no tub in this house. There's not space for a tub. So I opted to not include that. And that's something to keep in mind if you do have your Sims move here, that there is no tub for washing anything. And I don't know. I feel like I prefer to put tubs in my houses, but it is realistic to not always have a tub. I've technically always had one, but like it's barely calling it a tub. It's those apartment showers that are like a shower tub combo, but the tub is so low down that you couldn't take a bath in it if you wanted to. It looks like a tub. I could bathe my dog in it, but it's not like I fill up the tub to bathe my dog. He just stands there and we like pour water on him. But it's not like a bathtub that you could take a bath in. So anyway, I am just decorating the primary bedroom now, and I really like the color scheme in here as well. It's like really dark and moody, and I'm loving this new lamp from the For Rent. I keep wanting to call it Get Rent. I don't know why. We have too many packs that have similar names, but anyway, I really like that lamp because it's just a lamp I feel like I've seen 1,000 times, that everyone has owned at some point in time. So it just feels like it very easily blends into any household. So that's what I opted for. But we are working on the second household now. You can see I'm going for this more orangey wood tone, and it's just going to be really bright and cheerful and cluttered. There's a lot of kid stuff around, and it's much more scrunched than the first one. And I feel like both of the first two are a little bit more smushed or scrunched or squished. I guess this is an installment of the squish, whereas the third one, which is staged, I have less furniture in to really sell the space because I didn't want it to look too cramped, if that makes sense. But I think it's more realistic that you try and smush as much into or squish as much into a space as you can. So in this unit in particular, I have a 4-seater table, as I was assuming 4 Sims would be living here. I have the parenting board, a bunch of activity boards, and just like lunch boxes and book bags and just stuff everywhere. And I think it looks really cute. We have the marbles jar that came with the newest pack for that marble collection. And I also end up getting some like modular pieces in that front window to look like some built-in storage as well. And I add an ottoman through there just so it looks cozy with a couple of toys up on top. It just felt like a realistic space that maybe the kids left some toys. And I got to use the new tiger plushie that came with For Rent. It is so incredibly adorable. I feel like this is going to go in every build from now on that has kids because it's really neutral. There's a red one too, like a regular like orange tiger, but I really like the white one. It's just so cute and doesn't clash with everything else in the area. So that's why I decided to do that. And then I'm just getting some more stuff for the counter in the kitchen. I wanted to have some canisters in here, as well as some utensils for the stove. And I have this bag of groceries, which is from Debug from the Cottage Living expansion pack, as we got the grocery delivery service. I also grabbed this really pretty shelving unit from Snowy Escape and tried to fill that up with all sorts of clutter. It's a mixture of just like random clutter and kitchen stuff. So we have some plates up there, but also a plant, and I believe I also, I got some cups and stuff and just a couple other decorations. I think these canisters are of tea, so that's what I put there, and then getting some cutting boards in the kitchen because at least one of the units had to have them, and there was space there. And then I really wanted to put something over in this corner, so I ended up actually using this cabinet piece from Home Chef Hustle. The corner piece looks like these shelves that has some like cooking supplies on it. We have some pots and pans and plates, and then I just got some soap and a towel up above the sink and a couple more decorations up above the fridge. And then we should be moving on into the living room finally, where I got this really pretty painting, and then I actually ended up using this TV set that came with Tiny Living. It's just so compact and it feels correct for this space, trying to keep everything as organized as possible with extra storage. And then, of course, I added some additional shelving up above the couch just to get some more decoration and storage into this space. It's a really small area for 4 Sims, so I thought having a space for books and board games and that cute little owl figurine of them with their little baby, I thought was really cute. And I also got a clock and a plant up here as well. And that should be it for the living room. I think it looks really cozy, like it's for a family and it has enough space for 4 Sims. So that worked out quite well. And then in the Genkan, in the entryway, I just put a couple of pairs of shoes. I didn't put that in all of the units just because it's really cramped. It's a 1-tile space, so I didn't want to block the entryway. But here we are upstairs now, just getting everything for the bathroom, matching to the other unit, but swapping out the various swatches to make it a lighter color to coincide with the color scheme that we're going for in this unit. And then trying to figure out what bed I want to put in this space. I switched this bed many times. But I start with this one, and the kids' bedroom is so cute. I'm very happy with that. I ended up using bunk beds from Growing Together. And so the top bunk is like pinks and purples, and the bottom bunk is dinosaurs. And it just ends up being a really fun kids' room. And I was glad that I did bunk beds because then I feel like there's more personality in this house and in this whole lot because there's 2 kids here. That it might have been better just to have 1 kid in that room so there's more space, but we have bunk beds. So I was quite happy with it, but this is the color scheme I end up going with in this room. Just got a couple of paintings up above the bed. I imagine they put some peel and stick wallpaper on this back wall as like an accent wall. And I also got this same shelving unit that I put downstairs that I clutter up with all sorts of stuff. And it ends up being a really nice, cozy room, but it's also really bright and colorful and kind of matches the rest of the house and keeps that sort of energy going throughout. And just adding a couple more touches on that table. I also ended up getting some jewelry up on that shelf and some like books and stuff, and just really cluttering it up as much as I can. I also have the wedding certificate up above the bed that came with Growing Together. It feels like something that should have come with the Wedding Stories game pack. I almost called it a stuff pack, but that came with Growing Together. And then this is the bathroom, just getting some more decorations in here. I end up getting these little towels. And I believe I put some more towels by the sink as well. But I really like those ones. I believe those are also from Growing Together. They're like colorful kids pattern towels, and that made sense for this house. And then we should be finishing up the kids' bedroom. I do change the rug to be this polka dot one instead. And then in the corner, I do end up having a toy box as well as a very narrow dresser from Tiny Living. But I also tried to put a shelf up top here to kind of act as a bedside table for the upper bunk, but it wasn't working because of there being a window there. So I decided to scrap that idea and figured it was a-okay. They could probably like keep their phone on the ledge of their bed or something. I know that's maybe not realistic in The Sims, but in real life it is. And I also don't know how old these Sims are, if they have phones yet. But then again, I feel like it's for safety reasons. Most people have their kids get phones pretty early. So regardless, you could also just have teenagers in this room if you want to just update some of the decorations so it's less toy focused and there's more like maybe band posters or whatever interests they have. I was thinking the kid on the bottom bunk like dinosaurs and void critters, and the top bunk kid I was thinking was more interested in just like hanging out with their friends. And that was the whole concept behind this room. I just wanted it to be fun and colorful and have a couple of different patterns in there. But we are into the final unit now. This is the like show unit. This is what you're going to tour if you're thinking about coming to live here. And maybe you could even rent this one out. And so I'm using the counters from Home Chef Hustle. They are some of my favorites. I think this is just so beautiful and modern. And I feel like you could imagine anyone in here because the furnishings are so simple. and you can bring color in here if you'd like to, or leave it as is. And yeah, I think this would be a great unit for a lot of different Sims. Just getting some curtains back here from the Desert Luxe pack. This one's been a little while ago now, but I still really, really like that. We have a couple of different curtain sets now that you can have like the rod to attach them and make them whatever length. But I think that one is still so, so beautiful. It was the first one we got. The living room is super simple. And then here in the dining space in the entryway, I just get a 2-seater table with a couple of vases on top of it, a nice big plant in the corner, trash can. I also forgot a trash can in one of the other units, but I do go back and add that a little bit later. I also added some aprons over here by the kitchen. I just really wanted it to feel lived in, but nice and clean and beautiful, and what you might look at if you were touring, like I said, that would inspire you to want to move in. So that was the idea here. Then we're working on that final bathroom. I don't think I added really many extra decorations in here. I have the mirror, and I believe I added like a shelf behind the toilet with some towels on it as like the staging for the room. But I didn't go all out with decor in this space because, you know, I wanted it to be something you can imagine living in. So moving into the bedrooms momentarily. First, I decided I wanted this artwork from the first or the second unit in this hallway, so I just swapped out that. But in the primary bedroom here, I do have a bed from Dream Home Decorator, a couple of bedside tables, and I believe a like closet dresser piece from Snowy Escape. Whereas in the other unit, or not in the other unit, in the other bedroom, I staged that as an office with a twin bed in it. I feel like anytime I've toured apartments that have 2 bedrooms, that's how the second room is staged. So that's what I opted to do here. So there ends up being a desk and a computer with a couple of decorations and a single bed in that room. But we'll get to that momentarily. I think we're starting on that now. I thought about using the one from Snowy Escape at first, but I didn't like how the wood swatches didn't really match with what I was going for, so I ended up swapping to the wood swatch that does match on the dresser or on the desk. But that didn't have one on the bed that I liked, so I wanted to have something a little bit more simple, and I opted to go for one from Base Game, so I should be grabbing that here shortly, just getting a couple of decorations on the dresser. I got a bonsai tree. I also have this really pretty tapestry up on the wall, and then, or scroll, I should say. I think it's scroll. And then I got a little closet over in this corner as well. And I believe a rug and a lamp. Yeah, it's a pretty simple room, but I think it looks really cute. And it's showing you how you could utilize this very small space if your Sims decided to move on in. But now we're just heading on outside to the backyards. I added some shrubs back here and like sectioned it off with some low-lying fences, and then added a couple of activities. It's very small, so there's not much space, but I do have trash cans out there. I believe one of them has a yoga mat, another has a barbecue, and the other one I think just has a couple of plastic chairs for you to sit in. But that is pretty much it for this build. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up. You can also subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more, and click that bell to be notified when I upload. Thank you so very much for watching. Please enjoy the screenshots, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye, everyone.